I am back. It's been a while. A lot has happened. Pereira continues to be the GOAT. Diego Lopez was right there. Fucking twice. He was right there. He was right there and got smoked by Volk. Okay, now that we're done with the recap of whatever's been happening since I've been gone, because that's the only important thing that's been happening, right? Correct? Yes. Islam versus Ilya almost happened, but it didn't. Dude, why the fuck does my hair look like that? Okay, go without now. This is my head, you guys. Here it is, my head. Whatever, correct? Yes. My opinion on the Islam versus Ilya Topuria fight that didn't happen, that we almost had, it was right in our hands. I am disappointed as well, okay? Don't get me wrong. This fight should have definitely happened. This is the biggest fight that could happen ever in fucking MMA history. But I low-key think this fight should not happen, bro.
Huh?
If this fight were to happen, it would be the end of MMA as we know it. That sounds crazy, right? But think about it, man. I don't actually want to find out what the superior martial art is. Okay, let's say Islam goes out there and just 50-45 Ilya. Then what? From now on, it's not MMA anymore, man. It is no longer MMA. It is, can you beat Sambo? That is what the fuck we'll get. And I know that we typically get ways like this, right? First it was jiu-jitsu, then it was wrestling, now it's Sambo, right? But Ilya is making it exciting by going out there and knocking people out and doing it in such a fashion where it is giving McGregor vibes, right? That's kind of what we want. McGregor made the sport super exciting. Back to what we were saying. I can't imagine a world where my YouTube comments are no longer filled with a bunch of Indians from across the world. They're not just Indians, no, it's Europeans in general. Saying, number one, first round they believe, second round they do not. Like, you know, I can't, I feel like a part of me would be missing. I don't know what the world would look like after, to be honest. Like, there would be no more war, you know? MMA would lose its fire. Like Shamaim and Strickland happening, right? It's such a two different styles going to fight. But we already kind of know who's going to win. I know that Ilya has his background in jiu-jitsu or whatever, but if he's going to beat him, he's going to knock him out. If Ilya submits him, like, the only way this fight would actually be super, super interesting for me is if Ilya went out there and fucking submitted Islam. Then I could sit here and say, wow, Ilya is the best fighter to ever exist and to have ever will existed. I just feel like MMA wouldn't be the same after, you know, because we had Conor versus Khabib, but that wasn't really like MMA versus MMA. It was just kind of like the star versus the best, you know, that's what that was. But this is straight up MMA versus MMA. I don't want to see either of these guys lose. It's such an exciting fight, but I think it would actually ruin things in a way that we don't understand yet. You know, because then what after? What do you do after that? Ilya fight 2 doesn't matter. Islam fight 2 doesn't matter. We both know they're gonna beat everybody. I would rather them just stay in their own worlds and beat people in their respective weight classes. I know that this is such a shit take, to be honest. Like, it is a pretty bad take, but I can't help to feel this way. Pereira continues to save the UFC. May I add you? I don't fucking give a shit if it's for the interim belt. That guy will be the triple champ in my eyes. Fuck Tom Aspinall for all that bullshit. How are you gonna sit out for a year plus now? You're essentially pulling a Francis Ngannou, yet you're still in the UFC. You haven't left the UFC yet. Yes, you got eye poked. Yes, it's okay that match didn't continue because you would have been at a disadvantage. But you made the fight not interesting anymore. I don't want to see a rematch between you guys because honestly, I don't care who wins because now we got Pereira. And then we had Jones who pulled out, who was ducking, whatever. Fucking whatever. There's been a shit ton of shit going on. Okay, I just want to yip you up for a bit. I do think Islam would beat Ilya. I think it would be pretty boring, to be honest. I mean, I'd hope that Ilya would go out there and fucking flatline him, but that's wishful thinking. Islam is a much smarter fighter than that, and he's a great fighter at the end of the day. They both are. Yeah, I was gonna include some fucking gameplay footage, but my shit literally died, so I gotta figure that out. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.